What's happening, everybody? John Ramdeen and Robin Black at the famed Massey Hall in downtown Toronto, the site of the open workout for UFC 206, the co-featured bout. It's a good one at 170 pounds. The immortal Matt Brown takes on the cowboy Donald Cerrone. And Cerrone didn't get to work out at the open workouts here because he said his coaches weren't there, but he made the best of it, and he got a chance to talk to his fans. And I will tell you, of all the crowd reactions we're going to see at UFC 206, one of the biggest pops is going to be for Cowboy.
Yeah, no doubt, and there's a lot of good reason for that. It's, you know, he literally thinks of them instead of, I mean, really, the average fan, do they want to see him punch and kick some pads, or do they want to see him come out and take a selfie with him? That's the truth. And this kind of plays into the sort of relaxed state he's been at welterweight anyways. He doesn't have to cut all that weight. He's not under that extra pressure. He's not under that extra physiological pressure. And he's been kind of taking it easy going in, and it's shown in his mindset in fights. And so I think this just plays sort of right into his easygoing approach he's been taking, and he's been winning with that approach.
What's interesting about it is that we talk about mixed martial arts as a journey, and when we were in Ottawa, we saw Donald Cerrone getting ready for his fight with Patrick Cote. He didn't engage in the open workouts. This has been quite the experience for Donald Cerrone. How important is it that it's always different, that you're dealing with something new every time?
You know, there was some talk back there. People were asking him about the union. They were asking about his eye. He's got a black eye. Was that real? About a movie? Dana White's coming to have dinner with him. You could look at those and go, wow, that's a lot of distractions. The reality is there's always a lot of distractions. Always. That's the nature of fighting. All the unpredictability, all the non-controllables, that's always going to be there. And it's always been there in every fight he's had, and it's in there in this fight. But the approach that he's taken about those non-controllables is control what you can control and don't worry about that which you can't. That's how he's been approaching his welterweight fights, and obviously it's been working, and he seems in the same state now.
You've pointed out to us before that it's important that a lot of fighters, they enjoy the process of getting ready for a fight camp, that these fighters, they don't have to step into the cage, they get to step inside of the cage. What is the balance to make sure that your head is in the game? Because on Saturday night, he has a very dangerous opponent in Matt Brown, that he makes sure that he stays there in addition to making sure the fans are satisfied.
Yeah, it's true. You know, I mean, as far as the fans, as far as us, the royal we're always pretty satisfied with whatever he does, and I think he knows that. And you know, this relaxed approach is not a coincidence at 170. You know, instead of depleting your body and dehydrating yourself and doing tons and tons of cardiovascular exercise, he's chilling out. It allows him to relax a little bit more. He's been enjoying it. But these things ebb and flow like a pendulum. You know, fighters are training way too hard. They're sparring way too much. They're coming in, they're acting like, you know, and you hear Cormier or you hear Rockhold talk about it, and they're like, it's normal to be broken down and beaten up. Everybody is. Well, just because that's normal now doesn't mean the pendulum can't swing the other way, where you train a little less. Bisping showed up 2 weeks out and beat Rockhold with less training camp, you know, but these things sway like that, because if all of a sudden you take that too far, you're like, I won't train as hard, I'll just relax, maybe I can have a beer the week of, you know, you can go too far with it, and then it'll go the other way. That's the nature, ever-changing.
And this, of course, is an experiment where the fighters are trying to figure out what works best for them, because everybody's an individual, and what works for some doesn't work for the others.
And what works best for you is what works best for you right now in December of 2016. That'll be different next month as the other people in your ecosystem, the other fighters change and the other coaches change and they adapt. And if you're slightly different in a good way, that's always an advantage until everybody else is exactly the same and that advantage is gone. So that is a part of the beauty of the ever-changing thing that is fighting.
Hopefully we'll get to see the best version of Donald Cowboy Cerrone when he locks horns with Matt Brown on Saturday night at UFC 206.